Bully for Mr. Conductor is, for some reason, the only episode of this show that I remember watching as a kid. The episode opens with the kids entering into the workshop to find Stacy and Mr. King. Stacy is about to go on some errands while Mr. King is here doing important grown-up stuff, when in reality he's just trying to look for Mr. Conductor. The kids are told that Mr. King's nephew will actually be coming in today, and that he's a bit of a tough kid. The kids walk back into the workshop and see that Mr. King is trying to find Mr. Conductor. However, he will not listen to them when Mr. C is right on top of the desk, right in front of him, barely missing him once again. You start to wonder why Mr. Conductor brings so much joy out of causing this man emotional damage for several decades of his life, knowing damn well that he wants to find this mysterious little man who gave him such joy as a child once more. Like, Mr. Conductor, what do you gain from this? He clearly knows that you exist and wants to meet you. Why do you get so much joy out of this misery? Anyway, Mr. King's nephew named Buster finally arrives, and if you can't tell by his 1930s appearance, he is a bully, wanting to crawl on the walls and beat up the other kids. However, he always wants to put on the nice, innocent little boy persona whenever his uncle comes out. Buster then shakes up the jukebox where all the band members are frailing around inside. He then starts to threaten Dan before Schemer comes in and saves Dan at the last minute. Before Schemer quickly changes sides once he realizes that Buster is the nephew of the superintendent of the entire railroad. Honestly, this is probably one of the most believable things that Schemer has ever done. Sure, Buster is an actual child, but then again, bro doesn't want to get in trouble with his boss, so it's best to do whatever the kid says. And then the jukebox band decides to sing a questionable song choice, okay. So after Schemer's job was threatened by a child, he tries to bully Dan once again by giving him a good old-fashioned noogie before Mr. King comes out of the office, and Buster lies to his uncle and says that they were only playing and having fun. To which Mr. Conductor then shows up to comfort Dan and tells him the story of a bully on the island of Sodor, Bulgy. Although I don't think that Buster is going to be turned into a freaking henhouse. After Dan fails to see the message out of the Thomas segment, Mr. Conductor then shows him some public domain cartoons about trying to stand up to a bully. After the segment, Buster actually comes in and sees Mr. Conductor hiding beside Dan, which is weird considering the fact that Mr. C constantly avoids himself by being seen by Mr. King, but allows himself to be seen by the bully. Maybe to prove a point to Dan? I don't know. Basically, Dan stands up in order to protect Mr. Conductor, and Buster ends up calling him, the railway, and his uncle very stupid. To which Mr. King hears everything and promptly punishes Buster and rewards Dan with some ice cream, and Mr. Conductor gives them all a big old thumbs up. This episode was your classic example of a bully episode, trying to stand up to some bullies and whatnot. Nothing inherently wrong with it. It was actually kind of fun to see the only episode of this show that I actively remember watching as a child for some reason. And yeah, it was a fun trip down memory lane.